Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Play 35 plus years of Advanced Squad Leader. It's a Saturday, which means I'm here with Rutin, and today we have the very extensively named Cry God for Harry, England, and St. George, which I'm not 100% sure actually at the moment if there's a comma, if it's like a Yale comma or whatever the heck after the last one.
Mean Oxford comma?
Oxford, comma, that's the one. So, for people who are potentially interested in this scenario, I'll get to it afterwards. But the long and short of it is, it's a little tricky to find this one, but hopefully it'll prove itself to be interesting or neat or fun, whatever it really turns out to be. So this scenario is named or numbered IR-01. It is from the Illuminating Rounds training pack, I believe is what the official name is called. If anybody is knows about Illuminating Rounds, they're essentially they're the duo with at least one member. I think I forgot to check if the second one was also in charge of ASL Scenario Archives. So they run the archive, and they've got a Patreon. On the Patreon, they've produced some content. They also do videos, kind of like us, but they do face cam, and I think in at least some cases they play live games against each other, like physically. So this scenario, you can only really get it through their Patreon, if I remember correctly. You got to pay them, and then you'll get access to their stuff. Blah blah blah. But if you're looking for this scenario on the archive, please note that there is already a scenario called Cry God for Harry, England, and St. George. And unfortunately, that scenario is wildly different than this one. So if you ever come across it, please be aware that, that's why you're seeing the wrong one. The other one is like D-Day 1944. I sent that to you, Ruben. I think it was
Yeah.
Sword Beach, I think. Anyways.
Something like that.
Yeah. Regardless, you wanna if you're ever searching for it, it's the one that has PT and colon in front of the title. That one will get you to the actual training, uh, Illuminating Rounds training pack one. That all being said, we have in the scenario, 23 April 1940. So it's still Allied forces versus Germans, mostly Norwegians. This one does feature some Brits, which is kind of nice, especially since they're 457s, which are the first line and thus will not cower if I roll doubles. In this fight, there's two boards. It's very important to also note that the boards shown in the archive, and this is why I wanted to bring up the whole archive stuff, is wrong. It's a wrong depiction. For whatever reason, they cropped the opposite. So, board 40, which is the bottom board, is supposed to be cropped from A to T, and the top board is supposed to be from N to GG. So we have done it correctly, and it vastly changes the objectives, locations, and all that sort of stuff. So in this one, the Germans are coming from off board. They've got to, from the right, they have to attack and grab a certain number of victory points. We'll get there as I point them out afterwards. EC is wet, no wind at start. Ground, snow, and alpine hills are in effect. The important thing to note about alpine hills is that it blocks same level LOS based on height. So, for example, P7 cannot see Q9 because of Q8. T3 cannot see T5 because of T4, etc., etc. It's important to note that U4 could still see T5 and T3. It's not a additional height or anything. It just blocks same level height. Orchards. Sorry, go ahead.
No, just interesting.
Okay. Orchards are out of season. Plowed fields are not in effect, so we don't have any garbage 1.5 movement factor cost there. It's really just for hills is really going to be the big thing. There's an overlay X9 on 40p4, and that is it for board modifications. The Allied side have Molotov capability. Although, very importantly, it can only be designated against AFVs, and they only get 3 of them. So don't forget that you have that limit, so you can't go kind of crazy on that. In fact, if I have, do they not have a more funny one? All right, whatever. I'll just put 3 Molotov projector counters on the map, so I don't forget about those. Uh, the AFEs may not leave road hexes and are considered to have red movement numbers. Really, that's just going to affect their start stop, or more specifically, their start. AFE crews may not voluntarily abandon their vehicles and cannot control hexes. So, normally, vehicles can at least control the hex that they're in so long as they are in it and present. This is like, no, the AFEs must must remain on roads. So, we'll see how that impacts movement. And lastly, British and Norwegians are allied for purposes of A10.7. Again, for anybody who doesn't know, allied troops, your leadership modifier goes down by 1 if you command troops from both groups at the same time. If you try to rally troops, the same sort of penalty applies. All right. Lastly, we have ELR and SAN. So Allies 3 and 3, Germans are 3 and 2. So they just have a slightly worse SAN. Provided the Allies have not amassed 15 CVP, so 7.5 squads essentially. Vehicles is going to be a very big one for that one. The Germans win at game end if they have 4 or more VP. Germans are awarded 1 VP for control of each of the hexes 40Q4. So this intersection, 40I8, which is a building over, it's the one stone building on the bottom hill. J7, which is the hilltop adjacent to that building. 36Z5, which is the first bridge. U6, which is the hilltop on the upper middle hill, and Q6, which is the far bridge. So 4, you basically have to control one map and some, or work your way up the hills. So we'll see. And that's it. That's the preface there for this scenario. I think I should point out as well, despite, I guess, ASL scenario's best attempts, or luck or whatever you want to call it, nobody has ever played this scenario, which is strange. I would have thought that of all groups, the scenario archive would have been the one to have people register their plays on it, but that's not the case. So. And apparently it's never made it onto Roar.
That was quite an exposition.
Look, I was giving you time to eat.
Um, so one thing I do want to point out
Mm.
is Jobo. Take a
Uh-oh.
look at a scenario card.
Yep.
Okay, what kind of vehicles do I have?
You have 2 Panzer II-As and a PSW 231 6 rad.
Sorry, can you say that last one again?
A PSW 231 6 rad.
Does it say anything else on that?
Sadly, no.
That's so weird. Because if I go and PSW 231 there are 2 different types of PSW 231 6 ride.
Oh.
I wonder which one it should be.
231 6 rad. Ooh, that's.
That
You know
is
what?
so weird. Like, gosh, I wonder if they proofread. I'm sorry.
Um. Yeah, I mean the difference is 2 firepower from machine guns. I'd say
know.
pick whichever. I don't personally care, but yeah.
I already chose which one I was picking, and
Gotcha.
it's,
But yeah, I
it's
totally
just-
get that.
That's one of the things where it's like, guys, if you're gonna make scenarios, put the counter on there, or like be very thorough. At least, who was it? Which one of these third parties does it? They include the firepower on it,
Yes.
like, and I'm
So
like, thank you. thank you. I want to say Bounding Fire does it, but I'm not sure. It's either Bounding Fire or Hazmo. I can't remember. One of those two do it.
Ooh, I want to see the Bounding Fire.
Okay, so Bounding Fire, there you go.
Because I know in a lot of groups they just don't they do what Illuminating Rounds did here, where they just don't add any photos, which is great, like fine, but I think in 2025 especially, this came out, I want to say 2022 or something. Let me see actually. When did this come out? 2020 December. Okay. Um so kind of to expand upon that point, I do think that more people should add counter representations for the various units that they use, or at the very least, like Rutan said, put the values on the bottom, even if it doesn't look to be important, because, and specifically because at this point in even in 2022, it was still the case. There are so many third party products out there. There's just there ASL is blessed by having so many people that have made content
Depending
for it.
depending on who you ask on that
For
blessed
sure,
part.
for sure. Like that, more like the volume rather than quality is for sure has been nice. However, it does mean that so many third party counters or even just official ones exist to the point where they're like we're getting to here. There are two different PSWT-31 six rads, and that can cause problems with which one do I use, and some people might not ask or might not know to ask, and as a result, it will not show up in errata. It won't show up anywhere. So
I say,
important.
like, in a scenario like this, it's 1940, it's whatever.
Hmm.
Like, I think where this really hurts is those. I know we're still in the early war, but it's really hurts in those, like, scenarios where it's, like, using early war Russian tanks or maybe even some Japanese tanks. I don't know, we haven't messed around in China in a while.
Hmm.
Where it's like, yeah, that extra firepower does mean more because you're out on the plains or you need those machine guns to take out other vehicles because there's no big AT guns or very small cannons and whatnot.
Right.
So
Or it could mean
some
the entire difference between having a
yeah,
gun and an MG that can shoot an infantry, or just a gun.
yeah, that too.
No, I totally
So
agree.
all right, I only know it really because like was it those like T-26 M33s have like
Oh yeah,
like
there's
six
five.
variants.
Yeah, five, six
Yeah.
variants of those.
All right, and it's like I don't know I just make the count. I make the counters and stuff for tabletop and stuff. It's like if people are expecting me to do it, then I expect. Well, if I expect, yeah, if people are expecting me to do it, I expect others to do it as well. Especially when you're making ASL content. Now, granted, am I kind of ripping modern like MMP's ASL content? Yes, but I'm not passing it off as my own. That's different. Uh, but at least I'm trying to keep those details in there
I
when
mean,
possible.
I think I think regardless, like if she's still creating custom counters or whatever, it's still effort. You still have to make
Yeah.
sure that it's done correctly. So
Anyways, that's my little gripe. I like, and that's the thing. It's like I don't go into these things like being like just critique to be critique. It's like,
mm,
yeah, I've made counters before. I had to go run the rigmarole on make craft it. It's like I don't care what some people think. There is a market for ASL and TTS, and somebody has to make all those counters.
hmm
And guess who made all of them, or at least 90%, 99% of them. And having to go through every one of those individually, yeah, it's a chore.
yeah, I can imagine.
uh, okay. Anyways, regardless,
Slash rant over.
flash rank over. I don't know what I'm saucy today. Woo! Uh, weather. No weather. Prep fire. Nope. Movement. Here we go.
Oh my god, too fast,
Yep,
too fast.
we're already here. These guys are gonna assault onto the board here.
You're going to assault move onto the board. Sure, fine.
Yep.
You're good.
This tank. Oh fuck. Yeah, you see it. Who you seeing it with?
I will. I will just let you. You can have your concealment.
All right. Two,
You may continue to have your concealment.
three.
I will ask you politely to remove your concealment, and then I will impolitely shoot you with an ATR.
I knew it had to be somewhere.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, it was
it's
a good
when
game while it lasted.
it's early shots. Okay. Well, I mean, no matter what, that's a hit because I'm trying to think of what values would
uh,
be for that.
that's gotta be a kill. Nothing else.
ATR, we're looking at there's a +1 to kill. The normal to kill is 5. Did I hit? Well, it doesn't matter. You've only got 1 armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be just a kill with bailout option.
All right. Wreck. Yikes. No crew survival. Well, we're off to a good start. Um. All right. So this guy.
Oh, yeah. Also, that is 5 VP.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So this guy is gonna come out here for OCXing, by the way. He's out here for one.
I'm going to try a free LOS here because I'm. Oh no, wait, I should be able to see that. I don't know. I'm just gonna reveal them. So there's a 457 over in CC4. What's your bunum? 467 2 3 4 5. You know what? Since you had your guys come in, I'll shoot. It's a 4 flat, I believe. Yeah, 1 hindrance, which is gonna block open ground. -1 for non assault, +1 for hindrance. Normal.
Jeez.
Okay, and then there is 1 residual there.
All right. Well, take it. Shoot me.
I mean, you can go through there.
One,
You're good.
two,
Sure.
three,
Mm-hmm.
four,
Okay.
five.
Sounds good.
Then one,
Mm-hmm.
two,
Sure.
three,
Yep.
4, 5.
4 5 up the hill. It's ground snow. Did you put? Am I thinking of? Am I thinking of it
Then
correctly?
it'll be I think 5.5. I think,
Uh,
or is it 6? Would that just be 6?
yeah, because I think it's +1 for elevation
Oh,
change. But if you're at 5, then yeah, you're good at either way.
okay.
1 2 3. Oh yeah, yeah, you'd be fine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
These guys are gonna go here for one,
Sure.
two, three.
Okay. I will. Who do I want to reveal in this one? I am going to reveal. I don't know if anybody can. You know what? I will reveal the a 457 in I8.
Okay.
TM mortar. Okay.
These guys are gonna come on the board for one.
All together with the infantry, or
Yeah, they're armed assaulting.
okay. Sure. They'll lose concealment, but other than that, you're good.
Two,
Mm-hmm.
three. Oops, three in the tank. 3, 4.
Sure.
4,
5 there.
5, 5, 6,
Okay.
6, 7,
Okay.
7, 8,
7 from.
red bonus.
Right. Yeah, you're fine. You
9
got a
from the tank.
you got a +1 anyways. Yep.
10.
Can you keep going? I thought
Yeah,
armored assault you had to.
this is like the third time that you've asked that during our time here, and the answer is always yes, you can.
That you can keep going. I thought you were limited to what the infantry had.
No, the tank can keep going. The infantry has to stop.
If infantry move in a stack with the AFV, that AFV cannot move farther than if it were accompanied by that same infantry throughout the move,
Okay.
even if it fails to end its movement phase in the same hex with the AFV. So you can go as much as the infantry can go, but if you've
Okay.
already
Oh, there we go then.
cool, yeah. So you're there.
And yeah, I guess I'll stop because it wouldn't matter anyways.
Well, it is red numbers. Keep in mind,
Yeah. I guess I will stay
because
motion.
you'll still get the
No,
+1.
I'm gonna still stop though because I don't
Okay.
want to deal with. Okay, this guy coming on for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 in motion.
Okay.
Alright. This guy's gonna go here for 2.
You're there for 2. It'll be unconcealed, but just because of the guy in the CC4.
Yep, 4 into there.
Yep. You're good.
This guy will. This guy. Uh, it's the X. And he'll go 2,
Mm-hmm.
4, 6.
Sure.
This guy is gonna CX. And he's gonna go 1,
Yep.
2, 3,
Mm-hmm.
4, 5.
Okay.
This guy is gonna CX. And he's gonna go here for 1.
Mm-hmm.
Bypass 2.
Bypass 2. Sure.
3, 4.
Okay.
5, 6.
Sure.
Oh, there we go. These guys are going to go in here for 1,
Mm-hmm.
2, 3,
Not CX. Okay.
4, 5.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are going to go in here for 1,
Yep.
2, 3,
Mm-hmm.
4, 5.
I'm gonna check on LOS from CC9. No, you're good. No concealment lost.
This guy is going to CX.
Sure.
He is.
Yeah, he'll lose concealment just from the guy that was revealed earlier in the building. But otherwise, you're good to go.
I guess so. 1, 2. Oh, sorry.
DMMMG like that. Okay, yeah, 2.
3.
Um, when you get there, yeah, it's too valuable not to take a shot. I will shoot with I-8. It's the squad with an MMG and 9-1 leader, so it should be 6 down 1, I believe, because there's 1 hindrance, non-assault movement, and the leader. 8 on 6 is a pin task check. Let me check. Pretty sure it's a pin task check. Yeah.
He's fine.
Damn. No rate either. And I will have 1 residual there. But otherwise, you're good.
Bypass 4.
Sure.
5, 6.
Okay. As you get there, um, Alpine Hills only block same level. So my guy in BB8 will take a shot. It's a 6 flat. Normal. Or sorry, 1 check? Yeah, 1 check.
Alright, he's broken. One,
Mm-hmm.
2, 3,
You're there.
4, 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Presumably that's not overstacked. That's a huge stack. Oof.
You're a defensive fire.
Defensive. I don't think I have anybody that can start seeing and shooting other people, so I think that'll be it. Advancing.
Okay. Yeah, no, can't, nothing I really want to do. I'll go to routes.
Yep.
This guy will route back to here.
Sounds good.
Um,
I don't think the guy in GG1 has to route. He loses CX, but I think he can just stay where he is
mhm.
because of hindrance. I'm just trying to think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically, you could go to FF0 if you wanted to low crawl there. Actually, could you? No, that's the furthest you could go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So you can go to FF0 if you wanted, but that's about it.
Mm. Alright. I think I'll just stay there.
Sounds good.
Or if anything, I'll still crawl there.
Sounds good.
Okay. Advance. Alright. This guy will advance.
So as long as they're not CX, you're good to do that.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it'll CX you doing it, but yeah.
Yeah. These guys will go up here, and then we'll CX them.
Oh, that looks pretty nasty.
Uh, these guys will continue into there. This guy will also continue into there. Okay, let me just up, up, up. There we go. I'm trying to unfuck all my stuff.
Yeah, no
Okay,
worries, no worries.
just, I just want you to be there. There we go. That's all I wanted. Okay, you
Get
go there.
organized.
You go there. You go there. Okay. Um. Okay. That's my turn.
Sounds good. Weather, no change because it's not overcast. Rally phase.
Um. This guy gets rid of his. Um.
Yeah, there's just the one rally.
And yep, that's gonna be. I need a 6. Nope. Okay.
Right. I don't know why I was stuck on like why is 6. All right. Prep fire phase. Um, in the prep fire phase, I'm gonna have my stack on in the building is gonna shoot at your tank. So the line of sight should be clear. Yeah. I'm gonna shoot first the MMG at the tank to see if I can do something about it. Okay. Okay. I do have rate of fire.
Okay.
No, hold on. It's not. I don't think it is because machine
It's
gun
like
is
it was literally the same thing. Oh.
no, because it'd be equal. It'd be a stun because it would just be a +1 to a 5. Armor brings it down to a 4 equals. So yeah, it's stunned, and then the squad will shoot at the infantry, which I guess I still have rate of fire, so I'll throw in the MMG as well. No.
I'm surprised there's no like stun thing for bad things. Okay.
Oh, I think because it's oh wait, it's not in the info your unit vehicle. Huh. Yeah, I guess because it has its own page or whatever. But yeah, weird. Um, God, what else is there to do here that I want to prep fire for? I don't think I've got anything else. I'll go to movement phase. My half squad with the ATR is going to get the hell out of Dodge. It goes to BB7 for 1.
Okay. I can't see that, can I?
No, because of Alpine Hills. It'll continue to AA7 for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the next best spot here? Into Z7 for 3.
Okay.
And then, shoot. I'll go to Y8 for 4. Do I want to do more? No, I'll just wait. Stack in I9 is going to assault move to I10.
Okay.
Um, and the stack in J8 is going to split. I just have to try and do this right here. And these two guys. Blah. There. Okay. Um, they split into two, so one unit will go to J7, the other one stays in J8. And I think that's it. The stack in AA9 is going to normal move to Z8 for 2, and then to Y8 for 3.
Okay.
And
Um,
I feel comfortable saying that he can't be seen by your guy in BB1.
uh, I'm allowed to take a free LOS check, right?
Yeah, yeah, because he is concealed.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Barely.
Cool. That is it for movement. Defensive.
Alright. We're gonna put this together. Uh, these guys will reveal and they're gonna fire at your guy up here
Oof, okay.
for 14
Up 2.
plus 2. Of course.
Okay, well.
Lovely. Nothing else I can really do.
Okay. What else? Advanced fire phase, none. Routes, also none. Advances. So in the advanced phase, I'm going to be splitting the stack in I-10 uh, 3 ways. So I'm going to do you, you, and this. Over in the on the hill, I7 is going to split into 2 stacks. So into J6 for half of them. Probably not. Do I care to stay in this foxhole? Probably not. Um, the guys in BB4 will assault to BB5, and the guy in CC4 is going to go to BB4 and abandon the foxhole. Is there any other moves? Oh, probably just be able to drive around. The stack in Y8 will advance to Y9. I think that'll be it for all of my advances. In the CC phase, just before the end of the turn, I'm going to try to, or I'm going to gain, I guess because nobody can see it, concealment on the guy with the ATR. But otherwise, I don't know if anybody else would gain concealment, so that'll be it. Turn 2 Germans.
Alright. I'll try to self-rally the guy. Oh, I'm sorry. Whether... Oh, there goes my rally. Self-rally guy on top. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Get him. And then the guy on the bottom with the -2 leader. He gets it. Fucking barely, but gets it.
I flipped your stun
Uh,
counter.
thank you. Um. All right. Prep fire. Nothing.
No prep. Okay.
One, two, three, four, six. One, two, Hmm.
Oh,
I'm just trying to do the math on this. It's interesting.
okay. Concerning?
Well, if it's 3 to move up and 2 to move down on hills,
Yeah. If you're going into woods,
and that's the thing, though.
if it's
It's
going,
like,
if you're going up to open ground, it's 3. Up to hills or up to woods is 5.
yeah, and then
Because we were, Rob and I had a game. I think it was the last game where we had deep snow and alpine hills, and then both of those are extra, so they don't get doubled. So it was very important to know for certain cases.
that's for moving both up and down, or
No, I mean you don't pay extra for going down a hill. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's just
no, I
going
meant
up.
for ground snow though, isn't it? Because it's an elevation change.
I mean it is, but my understanding is you only get penalized whenever you're going up. But I'll check. But
Oh, so I remember ground snow being weird for something else.
um,
Um,
terrain infantry. So one oh wow. Okay. No, you're right. During ground snow, all infantry cavalry must expend 1 extra per elevation change up down, unless using a
it's
stairwell. So hold on, let me double check here. So that would have been 2, 3, 4, 6. I gotta CX my guy.
it's fine. I'm just
And those guys advanced. Oh, but it's extra afterwards, so you don't double the extra. Okay, so those guys would be
I'm
in line.
just I'm just curious on how this works because it's really showing or it's giving off I have 6 turns, but you have to pay 3 to go up and down, 3 and 2 to go up and down hills. And I'm supposed to capture 4 out of 5 objectives within 6 turns on 3 to otherwise unless I'm going through roads, which is like
Yeah, like I definitely
it's interesting.
I definitely have opinions of the scenario so far. Obviously, it's a little biased, but taking out a vehicle, which is a third of the victory points needed. Um,
No, I mean, I'm just noticing it right off the bat, or noticing it now. I'm like, do I have even have enough time or movement to get to one place or another? Oh, I forgot repair this thing. Watch me bust it. Nope, it's just still there. Okay,
um,
because like
no
if I
good.
go on roads, it's fine, but then that's the thing. I have to go on roads, and that's a death sentence.
Yeah. Um,
So I'm curious how I'm gonna
I mean,
do
there are
this.
2 points here that are obscured, right? And adjacent to each other. So, if that comes into consideration at all, but I definitely have thoughts about this one for sure, which I will once we're done. I'll expand upon. But
Yeah. Okay. I said movement because I'm not. I don't think I'm shooting anything.
hmm,
Unless I want to do 4 up 2, which kind of just sucks. Um, yeah, movement. This car is gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh,
I just want
sorry,
to. Could that
8.
possibly before you hold on. I'm just trying to mentally think O10 here. Is there any way? No, I think I'm like one or hex off or something. All right, you're good.
I don't want nothing. 12, 13, 4, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 20. And I'm gonna stop here.
Uh, question.
Uh-huh.
Um, they're not plowed roads, right?
Are they?
No, they're not plowed roads, and you're not a tracked vehicle.
Fuck.
Which kind of means we I think the first turn of movement is probably wrong. But
I'll I'll just
we'll keep it
I'll
there.
just I'll just stay here for this turn. Fuck it.
I mean, at worst, like do half movement because I think yeah, like we fucked that up. That guy gets to be there, and I'm fine with that. But I still think you can get. Like, I'll give you half movement for sure.
No, it's like, what's with me getting fucked on these like movement penalties lately?
I think honestly, I think we're like tired of being in snow. I think
I think I think so too.
it's like they bring out deep snow and then ground snow and having to go back and forth on those two a lot too. It doesn't help.
Um, Tank and infantry. I guess I'll just go 1,
Still armored
2.
assault.
Yep.
Okay.
3.
As you get there, yeah, as you get there, I am going to reveal N6. I will take a shot. There's a +1 for armored assault, but I don't believe you get the. I think you get the -1 for. Do you? Is it just +1, or is there a
I
-1 for
negate
non-assault?
I negate FFMO.
Yeah, but not non-assault. Okay. Um, so it's a 6 flat. You're good.
4 and 5 for red bonus.
Okay.
I'll take that CX off.
Can't imagine that two's gonna do much, but whatever.
Um, I literally don't know what I should be doing right now. Salt move up here.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll let. Yeah, he can get there. Sure.
uh, Salt move up here.
Him, I will take a shot at if. 1, 2. What is this? 5. You know what? Yeah, whatever. 4 down 1. Okay, I don't cower. Sniper and a 1-on-4. Yeah, okay.
All right.
Oh, we didn't put. Oh no, wait. You put sniper down. Did I put sniper down? I don't think I did because I'm an idiot. Okay, cool.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. 1. Yeah, 3, 4, 5 might be there anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. This guy is going to assault move this way.
Okay.
This guy is going to assault move this way.
Sure.
I literally can't get up the hill. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so going in via the road.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Into the woods. 1, 4.
Mm-hmm.
3.
5, isn't it? Because doubled for
5.
woods.
Yep, you're right. 5.
Okay.
Assault move into here.
Sure.
One, two, three, four.
Sure.
Okay. That's my movement.
Okay. That's an unfortunate problem that I'll have to live with. Let's do the easy ones here. Um, BB5 is gonna reveal and shoot at your two squads in CC6. It is an 8 flat, one check. I think I always forget on 6. Yeah, it's a one check.
It's pin and break.
Okay. Um, the squad with the LMG is going to shoot at the concealed guy next to him. So it's a 6 up 1. 8 on 6 is a pin test check.
And
Okay. Um, leader with the MMG and squad are going to shoot at your mortar, which I believe will just be a flat range. So it's a flat 6. Normal. Okay. And then I'm going to reveal two squads in Z10 shooting against your guy in the woods in C10. So it's a 8 up 1. Normal.
it's fine.
I think that's it for shots. Advancing.
Alright. 3 up 1 into here.
Okay.
3.5 up 1 into there, I should say. Nothing cool. 3.5, down 1.
Sure. Seven. Pretty sure it's a pin test check. Yeah.
I guess 2 up 1 into here. Nope. Cool. 4, 8, 11 divided by 2. 5.5, so 5. 5 flat into here.
Okay. Wait. Oh, wait. No, you're good. You're good. Sorry.
Can I? Jesus Christ. 8, 9, 8, 10, 9, 11. 9, 8, 9, 11. 2
I want
up
to make a comment.
1. Okay.
Yep. I think we know the culprit today. Yep.
IFT, average of 10.
I know it's on
Average
6
of
shots, but that's insane.
10. Oh my god.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That number checks out.
Yep. Okay. I see where this game stands. Okay, keep going. Um, routes.
Routes, sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take this guy, put him back there. Like, low curl, I guess. I guess I could just.
You could get him.
I'll put him up here.
You could get him to E8. Because
I'm
technically those woods are connected, right? So you can ignore if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I want to put him here.
Sure. Yeah, because I don't think he. I'd be surprised if BB8 sees him. Yeah, he doesn't. So he doesn't know he exists.
All right. Advance.
Advances.
Yeah. Goes to here. Goes to here.
Yeah, that's a big old problem. Just out of curiosity, is your guy in the foxhole or outside the foxhole?
I'm gonna put him inside the foxhole.
Okay. Hmm. Well,
Um, I don't want to get shot at. Um, yeah, this is gonna just kind of gross no matter where I go. Just kind of wasting time. Okay.
it, that is a vicious amount of guys. Um, no CC, so turn 2 Norwegians. No weather change. Rallies.
Um. Yep. This guy will try to rally. Uh.
Makes it.
He does make it. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Cristo. Um, kind of a bummer, but I don't have anything else, so prep fire.
Oh,
Uh,
my repair. Oh,
oh,
there.
right.
I was right. I was just a turn late.
Yeah, just 1 turn late. Okay, let's try to get some heroes here. Stack in BB5 is going to shoot at your giant stack in CC5. It is an 8 flat, normal.
All right. 8. Okay, good. So far. So then 8 and 8. 8. Good. 8. Good. Okay, we're okay.
That sucks. I'll follow up with another shot. So 8 up 1, normal.
That'll be Marshak 1.
Oh, right. 7. Sorry. You're correct.
Pin. He's fine. And then he is broken.
Okay. 1, 2. He will go to this guy by default.
Okay.
Break a half squad. I'll take it for sure. Um, he's gotta get the heck out of there. Medium machine gun and squadron leader will keep shooting at the mortar. So 6 flat. Or sorry, yeah, 6 flat. So normal. Another normal. Jeez. And then squad with the LMG and N6 will shoot at your guy in cover with the tank. So up 1 on 6, which is a pin test check.
Okay.
Are your guys still in motion? The tank? Because then he wouldn't give.
No, he would be not be. Never mind. You're right. I'm
Yeah.
fucking. I
Um.
don't know what I'm on today.
Because I don't remember if he declared stop or not, and it's just obviously like if he's in motion, he loses the plus afterwards. So, um, yo, why? I don't know why, but lately so many more bots. Um, sorry, just gonna fill out a little response here. View bot. Cool. Okay, so any other shots for me to do here? I don't think I have any other shots I can do outside of one, and I'm not gonna chance it. So I will go to movement phase. In the movement phase, the I guess technically this guy loses his CX. So Y9. I'll go to X9 for 1. That's should be legal, right? Because it's not this. The stream ends there.
Yeah.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? I'll do 6 to M10. Um, so they're there. The two squads in Z10 are going to assault move to Y10. The stack in H9 is going to assault move to Z10.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I might actually have to move them, yeah. J8, I'm going to declare CX. They will go down the hill K9 for 3. Uh, 4 into L8. 5 into M8. And do I... I don't want to get shot at. Oh, he'll stay there. Stays there. Is there anybody? Oh, guy with the LMG on the hill in BB8 is. Do I want to declare CX? I guess I have to. Declare CX will go to AA9 for 3.
I will shoot him with the sky.
Same level, Alpine Hills.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Fuck.
Honestly, I think the Alpine Hills alone makes this scenario worse. And then I'll go to Z8 for 5. And that is my movement. Could you see that? Probably not.
This gives off the energy of like a playtester who only played like one side and wanted to protect himself as much as possible.
Yeah, I kind of see where you're going with that. I'm gonna declare CX and I7. The unit's gonna move to J7. Nobody sees them, pretty sure. So retain concealment. Gets there for 2, then 4 into K8, and then 7, or sorry, no, 6 to L8. Yeah, 6 to L8, and then that's it for his movement. And that should be it. Defensive.
All right. These guys will fire into here for 8 up 1. Normal.
Normal. Morale check and morale check. Good.
These guys will fire into here for 14.
14 up 1.
Yep, 14 up 1. Please give me snake eyes.
9 on 14's gotta be a normal at least. So morale check. 9 on 14 is a normal.
A normal.
So he will brack. No, he'll pin. Sorry. And then morale check. Wow. Okay. Well, they're both pinned.
It is. That's kind of bad.
Yeah, both ways. I was hoping to get him out of there. That is not
just. It's like you can break, you know.
Yeah, look, I will say that, especially in the games I've had with Rob, my morale checks has been really good, and it's not, sometimes
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I'm like, yeah, no,
it's just been a streak, in it.
it's a streak. It's one of those. It's just one of those. This guy, I think he could shoot in here.
Yep, because you can see over the woods.
Okay, 4 up 1, 6 on 4. So
Or 7 pin test check. They're
4.
already pinned.
God damn it! Why? I have to fight tooth and nail just for morale
everything.
check, just for you to like only pin at the worst.
I'm gonna introduce you to Rob because he feels the exact same way.
All right, 8 up 1 into here, please.
Pin test
Another
check.
pin task. What is this?
Pinned.
Game. What did I do? You already. I'm gonna take this time to undm this while I remember.
DM what?
To assemble.
Right. Sorry, I was like, what? Who did you forget to clear a DM counter on?
No, we're good. All right. So that's my shooting. Yeah, not like it did anything.
Advanced fire phase, none, as far as I'm aware, anyways. Routes, me first, none. Um, yeah,
My
choose where
my
you're.
guy will my guy will take his shit ass up here, and then this guy, I guess he has to go down, and then into the woods to grandmother's house we go. Or could I? Actually, one, two.
No, because going down, so that was two,
Yeah,
three, and
yeah.
then
So
again, I think the Alpine Hills is really a bad decision on this scenario.
this is not fun. I'm dying. All right.
I think that's it. Advances.
I want to point out for the record that it's like already almost halfway done with the game, and I've only made 4 hexes of progress.
Yeah, like I think it'll come back to the same feeling I've got before of like I think Alpine Hills is really a
Yeah,
bad choice here because the whether you're on attack or not, I definitely think that defense is way stronger with Alpine Hills. And there's some shenanigans that you can do on the attack, but I don't think this map lends itself to that fact. So, um,
wait.
yeah,
All right, let's keep going. If I'm lucky, I know that I can get 2, but that's being very optimistic. I don't see myself winning. I don't think it's possible for me to win at this point, actually. I'm still stuck all the way back here.
um, it'll be very. I mean, I think right now the conceit is that these 2 points aren't going to get gotten.
These two.
I mean, yeah. I think Q6 if like you push really hard for it for 4 turns, but again, like that assumes that everything goes right because of all the extra movement costs through that one middle hill. Because there's no way you're going around the hill at this point. Do I have any other advances? No. That's not true. I'm gonna move J7 to K7 since they're not needed there anymore. Yeah, that's all my advances. There's no CC because my guys were stuck in as pinned, and we'll go to German turn 3.
Alright. Rally phase. Do I get this half? Oh, I'll try to self rally the squad first, see if I can get Snake Eyes. Oh, very close.
Close.
Alright. Alright, now the other's. He's just dead.
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh.
And then weather, unless you want to do the other one first. I don't know. Whatever.
Weather. Yeah, weather, there we go.
And the other
Oh,
guy? Yeah.
yeah, I forgot about that guy. Um, shows you how much I care about him.
I mean, I will say I was surprised when you had the prep fire and it was assembled and you didn't shoot with it. I was like, all right, well,
Well, I mean, you're in a fucking stone building.
I know, but it's kind of like,
Oh, I didn't even know, I didn't even from like realize that those two were victory hexes down there on that hill,
yeah,
same hill, Norwegians. Okay,
yeah. That's why I was when I pointed them out that they were next to each other. Like,
yeah,
there's some ground you can get, and like you got to push really hard for the hill, but
yeah, Jesus Christ. Um, prep fire, I guess.
prep fire.
Um, I just need these guys to just die is the problem. Nobody just wants to die. These guys will shoot in there. 8 up 1.
Yep.
Power, of course. Why not?
Oh, right, cower, so wouldn't even.
Won't even do anything. Jesus Christ.
It would go to 6. Yeah, 9 and 6, nothing.
What are these fucking rolls? I tell you, man. It's 14.
14 flat.
14 flat. Come on. 7 on
Definitely morale check.
14.
Okay, well, the leader is in a really bad spot. He's wounded. Broken wounded. Oops,
Two
there you
check.
go. And it's 2. Alright, well, it doesn't matter. He brokes. Brokes.
Alright.
How dare you?
Cool.
How dare you?
Oh, yeah. No, how dare I? How dare I finally, after all
Get
these
something out of.
fucking. Oh my god. Okay. That's all I can really do, because I gotta keep moving. Frickin' movement phase. Um, Jesus. 1.
Okay.
Oh, God. 2, 3.
Sure.
4.
I will. I mean, no matter what, you'll have to do something. I'll take a shot. 4 down 2. 4 and 4 is a 1 check. Okay.
Hey, look at that. Heat of battle.
He didn't surrender.
That would be battle hardening and hero, I believe.
Probably, yeah. Because you don't have. There's no pluses, and you're not inexperienced or elite or anything, so. It's just a flat battle hardened hero.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Well, that's one thing we got from that.
Oh, do I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? Because there's a hero there now, I feel like I have to. I gotta take a shot with Z7. It's a 6 down 1. 5 on 6, 1 check. Yeah.
All right. 8
Alright, the
on
hero's alright.
7.
Well, sniper doesn't activate.
Yeah, this is just the scenario to do it, I tell you. Yes. 1,
Okay.
2.
I will subsequent with Z7. It is 3 down 1. Come on. 3 on 3 is a 2 morale check.
Of course. I don't even care anymore. 1, 2.
Uh, Final protective, why not? I am going to pin myself. It is 6 down 1, so it's a 1 check. It's because it's a 6 on 6.
6. Yep. Yep. Just what I fucking thought. Because my place to be is 8 and above right now.
Yeah,
On
like
whatever.
um,
IT 8.6. Morale check 7. Okay, but yeah.
like the morale check is a lie. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's nice to say my average number is 7, but you know, when you're getting pin task checks and you're getting 1 checks, like bullshit.
Uh, CX 1, 2, 3,
Hmm.
4, 5. Just
1 down 2.
yep.
You mutter K1.
Okay, one. Oh, he's dead. Okay, and then the other one. Breaks. Cool.
Do you want to call it?
I mean, we are literally two squads away from me being impossible to win this,
Yeah,
and yeah, I think that would be the game right there.
because like, so to I guess to so had an MMG up here.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, this was a Boresight,
of course.
and so was BB-8.
Okay.
It's just a rough scenario. I don't like. I know. I'm gonna check my stats. I know my stats are crazy this game. Yeah, 6.24 is insane. That is too far below. Even my weather rolls, I can't say like skewed it one way or another. Um, because they'd probably average out at the end of the day. That's just insane. I'm trying to think of like objectively this scenario because which is a little hard to do considering. Um, I don't think that this scenario lends itself well to attacking for multiple reasons.
Oh, for sure. Like, I and I don't know. It feels, as I said, I think I'm comfortable with my. It feels like somebody during playtesting kept getting butthurt about something, and every single time they played it, they kept adding one extra thing to make the defenders stronger and
Hmm.
stronger and stronger. Where it's like, oh, or it feels like you know how like when you're kids and there's always that one kid in the neighborhood who like when every time you play a game he makes up rules to make it
Right.
so the
Calvin
game
Ball.
harder.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you know what? No, it's now ground snow. You know, you have to move more to move up hills. Oh, you know what? It's now alpine hills on top of that, so you can't see me when I'm on the hills. Oh, and also, like, I give myself Molotovs, and you can only do this in 6 turns, and you can't lose more than 14 victory point CVP, otherwise you lose. It just feels like that's what the energy it gives off.
Yeah. Um. I think. I think in terms of like the snare as a whole, I would ditch Alpine Hills. I think it's too strong for the defenders in this case. Because like
Oh yeah.
think about it this way too. Like the only like these hills can only be shot from like lower ground, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
this hill almost entirely can't affect this machine gunner. Um,
Yeah.
V4 doesn't really matter. Like you don't really need to be in V4 for any reason. V5 gives you all the same benefits, and you're adjacent, and you're in woods. So like, eh. Um,
Yeah.
Boresight
And
makes this even worse. Like I don't think Boresight should be a
yeah,
thing. Um,
for
and
this scenario.
yeah, like for this scenario, I don't think Boresight should be in. I don't think Alpine Hills should be in. And because of the nature of this map, like let's say you do keep Alpine Hills for whatever reason, I think there should be a special note that says the streams are considered frozen. Because
What aren't they like considered frozen naturally?
I don't know, because I'd had things that specify that the streams are flooded and frozen or etc. But I don't know if just snow existing makes streams frozen. Because
Oh,
technically there are streams that don't freeze. Oh, there we go. So terrain, ground, deep snow, freezes all streams. Okay, okay. So at least there's that. Um, Maybe a special mention should be there for streams because if you don't think about it, you can't enter these, right? So like even us, like we were thinking about, I was thinking about going through AA3 into Z2 the same way that you did, because
and
I wasn't thinking about these being frozen.
I was like thinking that they for me I was like I'm pretty sure they're frozen, but just to be safe, my plan was I knew you were gonna hop off, or I was planning on you to hop off this hill at some point,
Hmm.
but I didn't. I don't know how bad it was going to be because the tank would have been here at Z5, which meant that you would probably go through here. I know you can't see it through A3,
Sure, yeah.
which is why I posted a guy in BB1
Right.
to cover that. But then it's just like now I'll just destroy your tank turn one, and now we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, the ATR also is very lucky to get that first shot.
Oh yeah, no that I totally attribute that to luck. I don't like that's nothing against the scenario on that point.
Yeah,
It's just, yeah.
it's if anything though, like it does feel a little punishing for it to be 15 CVP because the vehicles aren't necessarily strong against ATR, especially. Um, I don't.
And
Molotov is what for TK? 8?
6.
Is Molotov 6? I never use Molotov. Molotov is
I
6.
Yeah.
Plus
Like
1
so.
if CE,
Yep.
2 if open top, which means that the armored car. No, wait, the armored car is not open top.
Can you tell I've played with Molotovs?
Yeah. -2 for
I
moving
think
target, plus elevation.
I was like I think it was from like I can't remember if it was Twilight of the Reich or something. I remember like learning the Molotov rules off of something that, and there was that one finish scenario. But regardless, like even then, the vehicles can only be like on roads, and they have
Yeah.
red numbers, and it's like, what more handicaps do the Germans need?
Hmm. Like I think being limited to
Or
roads, I don't think you need to give them red numbers. You can only go down 2 roads essentially. Um,
yeah, which means which that's the stupid part where it's like we're gonna give you Boresight and we're gonna give you ATRs and we're gonna give you Molotovs, and I think it's one of those things where they think the tanks are too scary, and so they overkill on the AT weaponry, or it's
can
one of
you
those things where the guys have played too much Western Front 1944 and forget that machine guns can kill tanks. um,
maybe can
I don't know. It
you
just feels like I don't know. It feels like it's been not play tested at all. It reminds me of scenarios that I designed, like when I first designed it, where it was like, because normally it's supposed to be, or what's the term? Like if you're attacking, you're supposed to have a 3-to-1 advantage.
mm,
Like I'm not saying let's dump 36 squads of Germans onto this, but maybe around like have it be a 2-to-1 ratio or at the very least 1.75 to 1. And then if you guys have the gall to tell me it's the vehicles that make up for that, you can go fuck yourself because it's like red numbers only on roads. It's
yeah, like looking at it again, like it's 12 to 11 squads, and I think that's kind of silly.
yeah.
There should definitely either reduce the amount of defenders there are. I could see removing at least like one British squad makes sense just off the bat. Um,
Mm-hmm.
maybe two because of Alpine Hills. Again, Alpine Hills is really just like strong in this case for the defenders.
I
Um,
would say let me see what we got here. Sorry, keep going. I'm just
yeah, yeah, you can't bore sight with the ATR. It's really just the MMGs, but even then, it feels like it's very strong because
mm-hmm.
you're not really gonna get any TKs, or you're probably not gonna get too many TKs with the MMGs. You'll get a lot of hits because of just the nature of it, but I think like you never really have to worry about the vehicles. They're a liability to the Germans. So use the ATR, like just have the ATR run around and try to pop at the vehicles. Everybody else needs to focus on infantry. And
Yeah.
I think the only way to like realistically attack this scenario is you have to abandon one map at the start. So like if you had everybody lined up, on the north or whatever, and you're only in like 4 or 5 hexes, that way you can completely take over a hill and then move from there. Or like down here, you make a real big play for the building in the hill because there's only 4 Norwegian squads. That it's like the only
Mm.
thing I can think of because if you don't get the victory points early on this hill, I don't see how you get them late, because the amount of movement you have to go through, right, is just it's a lot. And that also reminds me, I think I'm it makes more sense now the more I think about it. If a stream is flooded, it increases its level, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why. So I would, if anything, I would say that you have to flood these streams, because in ground slash deep snow, going from D9 to E9, that's two movements, right?
Yep.
And then to get out is,
No, it'd be three. It'd be 3 and 5, or three and
would it
three and three.
be would it be three to get down? Because it's
Your elevation change,
sure,
or
but
you
it'd
already
just be a
counting
bonus
that?
of one, right? Right.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So
So it'd
one,
be,
two to get down,
and then it'd be,
3 to get out. Yeah.
uh, yes, three to get out because of double, and then plus one. So like, you have to CX, and that's assuming like at least here it's just open ground, right? But like here, no way. Um, it's it just
I
kills so much movement.
it does, and that's the thing. Like I was okay with it, but then it's like, oh, and you're supposed to do all this in 6 turns,
Yeah,
and
and
I'm like, what?
yeah, and that's why I
What do
think
you
like
want?
if you flood the streams, at least you don't lose that much time trying to get across, right?
Yeah,
Um, because the
I don't
risk is
know.
still there. Like you still have
Yeah,
to, like down here, you still have to go through so much like essentially open ground that like
yeah,
you're going to lose squads. Um, and that's the other thing too. Like 15 CVP limit is kind of insane. Like even if you don't lose the tanks, fine, but like you still stand to lose more troops because you're attacking, and because you have to bump into very dangerous terrain to begin with, and then once
yeah,
you start getting closer to the objectives, like imagine this guy never gets spotted. Yeah, 16 down 3 or down 2 or whatever, and you're just popping entire stacks. Um, it's nice that the Germans get 4.68s or whatever, right? Because you do have the or 4.67s because you do have the range advantage, but
yeah.
you need
It's but
time to use the range advantage.
yeah, I was like, there, I can't use it if I'm on a fucking clock.
I think
But
I think if it was 7 turns, that'd be fine because at least you get say like 2 turns of straight up set up shoot. But
I would say like I would say drop 1 or 2 squads.
mm,
If anything, flip the nationalities to where it's majority Norwegian, minority British.
mm,
Um, then get rid of stone buildings, make those wooden, because there's no reason that we need to have stone buildings in this type of thing.
yep,
Like
I think
I get there's a 9-2, and if that's too much of it, then just swap the 9-2 for a 9-1 if that's too radical of a change. Um, then what else? I was seriously hoping that when I saw mortar, I thought it was an 81 because I saw the crew, and then it's like no, it's a
oh
50.
yeah.
And I'm like,
How do you feel about being forced to have both MMGs DM'd? For me, that seems rude.
I I don't mind it as much for the Germans because you can still shoot it when they're DM'd
Sure, and like
because they
you'll at least have
yeah
like one defensive fire where you can reassemble them, but
yeah like I don't mind DM'd MMGs and HMGs as much if they're Germans, just for the fact that you can still fire with them. If it's like American, or even with Americans, it's more like you already have 6 firepower anyways that you're shooting down range at 6 range, so it's not. I would say if it was like, yeah, let's say British or French or any other really, yeah, like any other nationality,
mm,
it'd be like, what the fuck? Except for maybe Russians, but Russians can't do that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They got the really heavy boys. But yeah, I don't mind it as much with the Germans. Um, but yeah, no. It
Yeah,
just
and
five movement to move up hills, man. That is just you expect me to do in 6 turns. Five movement to go up hills with
for
woods.
woods, yeah,
With yeah, in which you
there's a
decided to
lot.
choose maps caked with hills caked in woods, and then you have the gall to say do this in 6 turns. It's like
Yeah,
what?
because you it's either you have to spend so much time going up the hills,
Yeah,
which we already say it's kind of garbage. But then on top of
yeah,
that, like the alternative is go in the open and lose troops to the
troops.
CVP count that you're
Yeah,
trying to avoid. So
it's like you either lose movement or you lose men, and it's like no, it's either you lose time or you lose men, and it's like but the game's too confined to a place where you there's a good avenue for either because it's like if you dropped the CVP thing, then like losing men wouldn't be a problem. If you extended the time, then that might be a little less of a problem.
mm.
But then the fact still is, though, you still are moving 3 to 5 movement uphill with equal amount, almost 1-to-1 ratio of infantry firing at you in open ground.
Hold on. I've just I just realized something so stupid.
What?
Look at the scenario card.
Hmm.
What's next to Allied forces?
Oh,
Why would the Allied forces have the German nationality? I also think the balance here is really stupid. Why is it that the balance for the Allies is increased the game length to 6.5 turns? That directly
exactly.
hurts them.
I was gonna say what?
Yeah, so,
I and it. I'm just
Martin.
like I'm like here's the thing with this. Like when it comes to like other third-party products like Critical Hit, Bounding Fire, if they make mistakes, that's fine,
Hmm.
because there'd probably some chucklefuck out of their basement, and depending on who you are, you're probably one of the worst pieces of shit humanity has created. Critical Hit,
Jesus.
but
All right, calm down there.
hey, too many of my I know too many people who've died in Ukraine, man. Anyways,
Well, that's fair.
uh,
That is fair. That part, fuck Critical Hit for making Ukrainian scenarios. That wait,
that
give it 10 years at fucking least. Jesus.
so no, like that, and that is the one reason why I always hate Critical Hit. It's I don't care about like all the
The bloat
stupid
and
monster pack bull crap, like bloated whatever it is.
yeah.
It's the like let me make stuff on the Ukraine war that's still going on, and regardless. But these are guys who are literally the guys who run the scenario archive. It's like, guys, like if you're going to design a scenario, you have the data because you're the ones who put it in to see which scenarios are good and popular, what works and what doesn't,
Yeah.
and yet you it looks like you've done none of the research,
I think
and that's what kind of makes it sad.
I think too another thing that kind of bugs me is that like I get that this is, version 0.07 or whatever, but even if that's supposed to be true, I feel like some of these errors and omissions are so big as to like how did it take you 7 versions and you didn't notice it? Um and like if I paid money on Patreon to get this pack,
Exactly.
while I don't regret my purchase, it does make me think like I would have rather gotten a different, more complete scenario than something that I have to, because there's no errata, which they could easily add on their own website. Like because there's
Hmm.
no things to correct this, like the PSW 231 rad, the fact that the allies have the German marker, the balance not making any sense for like either side. Replace a German 7-0 with a 9-1 seems particularly strong. Um,
Yeah.
DMMMGs, all that sort of stuff. Alpine Hills, like not. I still think you should flood the stream to make it more passable. Force the Norwegians to have to fight, to defend their terrain. I think there's a bunch of changes that could be made to this scenario.
I I think I might give this the first 1 out of 10. I'm gonna be honest.
No,
I it's not like
that feels harsh. I will say.
I want okay, maybe 2 or 3. I don't feel good giving it past a 3.
I'm willing to give it a 4 because despite all of its faults, I think there's ways to fix it. And
Well, and that's my counter argument to that is that going back to what you said, there have been 7 versions of this scenario, and within those 7 versions, like there are still so many freaking flaws here, and that
mm,
it's like who looked at them? Like this is somebody. This is like, and this is my teacher coming out. This is somebody who said that like, oh, my kid is struggling, and then ignored it for 7 years. Now they're in eighth. Now they're in eighth grade, and they're still wondering like, why is my kid not doing well in math? It's
right,
like
got to
we've
take
been
the time to
telling
teach
you
him.
it's and then get mad at the teacher for your neglect.
Right, right,
Okay, okay. I'm kidding. I don't teach math, so
right. Thank
yeah,
God.
yeah, I know. I have a really fun coworker that teaches math. So, but
But yeah,
that being said, though, it's like one of those things where I don't know. Just because we have like I don't know, I guess inferred data that they ran through this 7 times and still thought this was good enough means that they're either a like totally blind to how scenario design works, or B they just didn't care, and
or just like,
that's
or just I think another point you brought up, which like they just didn't play test it enough. Like they got
yeah,
someone got lucky on defense, and like you said, they just kept, or someone got unlucky on defense, and they just kept adding more and more and more.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I never had any of my scenarios published, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not. Well, that's the thing. I'm
Yeah,
not.
MMP, get on that shit. God damn.
Hey, no, one of mine's in the playtest. Don't worry. But like, even that. But regardless of that, like, it's like this is why I appreciate Stu. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm kidding, Stu. If you're like, because he was willing to sit down with me, and like, yeah, we didn't go and play test it 20 times, but he at least was sat down, looked at every one of my scenarios, and was like, here, let's try to find a way to freaking break this thing,
Right.
and then we can build it back up. Here it
Use
and
average
like
values, see what progression looks
yeah,
like on the maps themselves, take out the
yeah,
counters.
especially yeah, no, and he had really good advice. Like, this is he's like I like the scenario design is okay if it was old ASL, but like drop the board, drop the turn length for that, do this, do that,
Mm-hmm.
and like, hey, you're using these units in an open field, but they only have 2 range, so maybe we up those to 447s or whatnot. And it was a lot of good advice.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, so the reason why I'm so against this one because it looks exactly like one of the scenarios that I had when I first drafted one,
Mm.
and like nobody really took a long. And it feels like nobody took that long look that only takes like 30 minutes. Like you don't need to play test it for like hours on end. You only took like 30 minutes and didn't think of how can this like break.
Right. Right.
And that's where I'm just like if and to me that just says you don't care. I don't know if and if you don't have the time for it, like some people will say, well, there's not a lot of time in the day. It's like, okay, if that's the case, then why are you making scenarios in the first place?
Yeah, like
Like,
there's certainly something to be said about like they you can you can drop content. You don't have to include it, that sort of thing. So
yeah, and the goal that to like even say I have to pay for it via Patreon. Like, I mean, okay, it's okay, I guess. Like, I do ethics, like
mm,
ethics be ethicing, uh, but I don't know. Like, I feel like if I put a Patreon for all the crap I did for on TTS and included like scenarios that I designed on it, I would not want this scenario to be on one of them because I feel like I would have to. In fact, I would be like so freaking like anxious about putting my scenarios up there because I want them to be good.
Right, right,
Like I would not be satisfied with this
right.
personally, and I just guess I'm assuming that if people make something, they want to be proud of it, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just an idiot. I don't know.
I don't. Maybe a little bit harsh, sure, but I don't think it's coming out of a place of like of malice or anything.
I'm not doing
Um,
it on a place of mal. It just feels like it could have been really good,
yeah,
but it feels like
needed more
not
time in the oven.
it. Well, I feel like it needed more effort in the fact that it feels like there wasn't too much effort put in,
Mm.
and then you slap it behind a paywall. That's what's making me mad about it.
Right. And like I'm sure there's people out there who will say like, well, it's maybe it's an addition, so it's a free thing on top of it, and I get that, but if you're going through the scenarios, like I don't remember which scenario is first in the pack, right? Like it has the number IR-01. There is another that's called like IT-1, I think. So naturally, you might lean towards IR-1 first, like even alphabetically it's the first one, so people go into that one first, and then like it's I didn't like the first one, you might bounce off the whole pack, so there's that also, I think, is something to consider. But
It gives me more appreciation for like MMP. To be honest, it's like, are
mm,
all their scenarios like a grand slam? No,
right.
but at least I know that, like, and yeah, no, I shit on MMP sometimes too, and then it's like, no offense to Kurt, he's doing his job, he's
mm,
doing his best he can. I
mm.
know he is because I was in his server for a while, lurking in the shadows.
Lurking in the
But
shadows.
it's like I know that those guys are trying their best and they're doing like they can, but again, it's like it's their hobby, that's their job. They seem very passionate about it, and
Mm,
that's what I like about it. Because like even at the end of the day, if it didn't work out, it was a passion project. I know effort was put into it.
right.
Here, I do not feel that any effort was put into it. I am
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I am sorry.
All right, I think we've got it out of our systems. So next up for next week, we have quite a few options here. Um, so we're still not we're still not against the Dutch or anything. Like we're very close, very close. But
That's the
um,
Dutch.
so just for to give people an understanding here before we jump out. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a double. Pretty sure that's a double.
Speaking of Dutch,
Hmm.
like guys, like Kurt, I know you guys are working on it. Please get that Rotterdam thing out. I cannot wait to play it. I'm excited. That and Kohima. Kohima? Is it Kohima or
Kohima,
Koshima?
Kohima.
Kohima.
Yeah.
I like Kohima. I am very excited for
If
that. I'm like,
I'm waiting for my paycheck before I start plugging too much MMP stuff. They already get a giant visual indicator on my streams for free. So
oh, yeah, yeah.
so there's about six more scenarios before we get to Dutch. Obviously, we might skip one or two depending on how things look. I want to say there's at least, yeah, there's one huge one, 13.5 turns. Probably not going to play Bitter Defense at Ota. We'll see. But so we're getting we're getting very close. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope to see everybody next week. Should have a game with Rob in 2 days' time. We'll be playing a scenario from Recon by Fire issue 2, so Heat of Battle. Deluxe boards should be fun, and I hope to see people there. So until then, have a lovely weekend and bye.